You have started over more times than you can count. A new routine, a new goal, a new version of yourself that this time you tell yourself is going to stick. And for a while it does. You feel focused. You feel like you finally figured it out. And then somewhere between week 2 and week 4, it fades. Not dramatically. There is no single moment where you decide to quit. It just quietly falls apart. And you are left wondering what is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you, but something is wrong with the way you have been approaching consistency. And that is exactly what this video is going to break down. Not just why it keeps happening, but what to actually do about it. Because understanding the problem is only half of it. The other half is building something that does not collapse the next time life gets hard or boring or complicated. Let us start with why this keeps happening. The first thing you need to understand is what motivation actually is. Most people treat motivation like it is a resource. Like if you just find enough of it, you can run on it indefinitely. But motivation is not a fuel source. It is a spark. It is designed to get you started, not to keep you going. The brain releases dopamine in anticipation of a reward, not in response to repetition. That is why starting something new feels electric and continuing it feels flat. You are not losing discipline. You are experiencing your brain working exactly as it was built to. The problem is that most people design their systems around motivation. They wait until they feel ready. They go hard when the energy is high, and when the energy drops, which it always does, there is nothing underneath to catch them. The second reason this happens is a standard problem. Intelligent people almost universally do this. When you decide to start something, you do not set a reasonable baseline. You set the version of you that already has momentum. You plan to work out 5 days a week when you have not worked out in months. You plan to write every single day when you have not written in a year. And when you inevitably miss a day or fall short of the standard you set, it does not just feel like a setback. It feels like confirmation that you cannot do it. High standards are not the problem. Setting your floor at your ceiling is the problem. Third, and this one is specific to people who think deeply, consistency feels intellectually boring. You are wired for novelty, for complexity, for problems that require real thought. Repetition does not give you that. Once you understand something, once the challenge is gone, the brain loses interest. This is not laziness. It is a mismatch between how your mind works and what consistency actually requires. Most advice about consistency is built for people who just need a push. You do not need a push. You need a system that accounts for the fact that your brain will get bored and try to move on. Fourth is the identity gap. You probably see yourself as someone who should be consistent. You know what you are capable of. You have seen yourself perform at a high level before. So every time you fall off, it does not just feel like a failure. It feels like evidence. Evidence that even though you know better, you still cannot follow through. And that weight accumulates. Every new attempt carries the memory of every previous one that did not last. So before you even begin, there's a quiet voice telling you not to get too excited because you already know how this ends. That cycle is one of the most damaging things about chronic inconsistency. It is not just the lost progress, it is what it does to your belief in yourself over time. Now, let us talk about what to actually do. The first shift is the most important one. You have to stop building your system around motivation and start building it around structure. Motivation will show up sometimes. When it does, use it. But your system cannot require it. The question is not, how do I stay motivated? The question is, what does this look like on the days when I feel nothing? If your system cannot survive a bad day, it is not a system. It is a performance, and performances end. The second shift is to lower your starting bar to a point that feels almost embarrassing. If you want to work out consistently, your minimum is not a full session. Your minimum is showing up. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, enough to say you did it. This is not about being soft on yourself. It is about protecting the habit on the days when life competes with it. A 2-minute version of the thing is infinitely more valuable than a skip day because you could not do the full version. Volume builds over time. The habit has to exist first. Most people skip this step because it feels like it does not count. That is exactly why their streaks keep breaking. The third shift is to design your system for your worst day, not your best one. Most people plan for the version of themselves that has energy, has time, is not stressed, slept well, and is generally operating at full capacity. That person exists maybe 30% of the time. The rest of the time, you are tired, distracted, behind on something, or just not feeling it. Your system needs to work for that version of you. What is the smallest, lowest friction version of this habit that I can do on my hardest day? That is your floor. That is what you protect. Everything above that is a bonus. The fourth shift is to kill the all or nothing thinking, and this one is critical. Missing once does not break a habit. Missing twice starts a pattern. Research on habit formation consistently shows that the most important rule is never miss twice. One missed day is a blip. 2 missed days is the beginning of a new default. When you miss, the goal is not to make up for it. The goal is to return immediately, not with extra effort, not with guilt. Just return. Show up the next day and do the minimum. That is it. The streak does not matter as much as the recovery. Most people quit during the return, not during the miss. They miss a day, feel bad about it, avoid returning because returning means confronting the failure, and then enough time passes that starting over feels required. Do not let the miss become the story. Let the return be the story. The fifth shift is about identity, and this is where lasting consistency actually comes from. Behavior follows belief. If you are trying to act like a consistent person while still believing deep down that you are someone who always falls off, you are fighting yourself every single day. The goal is not to force better behavior. The goal is to slowly build evidence that changes what you believe about yourself. Every time you show up on a bad day, you cast a vote for a different identity. Not the version of you that performs when conditions are perfect, the version that shows up anyway. These small moments are not small. They are the building blocks of a new self-concept. And once your identity shifts, consistency stops feeling like discipline. It starts feeling like who you are. The sixth shift is environmental. Your environment shapes your behavior more than your motivation does. If the thing you want to do consistently requires effort to access, your brain will find a reason to skip it on low energy days. Reduce the friction between you and the habit. Put the book on your pillow. Set out the workout clothes the night before. Keep the tool open on your desktop. Make the easy choice the right choice. You are not trying to rely on willpower. You are trying to engineer an environment where willpower is barely needed. Most people underestimate this. They think if they just wanted it badly enough, the environment would not matter. But even highly disciplined people fail in high-friction environments. Design your environment like your future self has almost no willpower and thank yourself later. The seventh shift is to change what counts as a win. Right now, you are probably measuring success by output. Did I hit the goal? Did I do the full amount? Did I perform at the level I planned? That measurement system will destroy consistency because output is variable. There will be days where you do everything right and still underperform. If that counts as a loss, you will eventually stop playing. Measure showing up instead. Did I do something? Did I maintain the habit? Did I honor the commitment even in a reduced form? That counts. That is a win. The output will compound over time if the showing up stays consistent. But you have to change what you're tracking first. Consistency is not about doing more, it is about stopping less. The people who seem impossibly consistent are not running on a different fuel than you. They have just built a system that survives their bad days, lowered their bar enough to protect the habit, and stopped letting a miss become a reason to quit. You have already proven you can start. You have done that more than once. What you are building now is something different. Not the version that launches strong and fades, the version that keeps going when it is boring, when it is hard, when nothing feels like it is working. That version does not need perfect conditions. It just needs a system that was designed for the real world, not the ideal one. Start there. Everything else follows.